day and welcome back to Mike And Raph Mathematics. If today is your first time joining us, please follow, like, comment, and share. Today we're going to be talking about a brief interview on the preparation of examination. We have Raph here to be giving us the reasons and answering the questions on preparation of examination. You're welcome, Raph.
Thanks.
Here are the questions on the preparations of examination. Question 1. What are the preparations to be taken before going for an examination?
You have to read. You have to read constantly. You have to read in a less noisy area so that you can understand better. And don't always hope that you could copy from your neighbors or your classmates at the exam hall. Always be confident in yourself that you will pass that exam. Read before you go to an exam hall.
Yes, you're right. Some people do not read before going for an examination. Some do not even stay in a conducive area or a ventilated place. Some even stay in a noisy place so that as they are reading, they will play small. You're quite correct about that because it happens to many students in a matter of time. Question 2. How will you react when you're being served with your question paper?
You have to, less pressure on yourself. Feel less tension so that you will be able to answer the questions correctly, because if you put so much pressure on yourself, you may not even know how to spell 2-letter words at a time. You remove pressure, because it has happened. Some students, when they go for some examination and they get so much pressured and they may not even know how to spell is. They may not even know how to spell is or any word. So put less pressure.
Yes, it happens. In an examination, when I went to go and write my own exam, my common entrance, I was hoping to get 84. But when I finished writing, everything seemed easy because it all were in my common entrance book, and I studied it very well before coming to write that exam. I was praying to get 84.
And also say that examination malpractice is not allowed.
Yes.
Always note that's very important.
That's the most important thing.
Because you might not even write the exam again, and it might be very important to you. And always start with the one you know first, because some people are not really good at any subject, but they try to start from the one they're not really good at. So it may lead them to waste their time. So start with the one you know first. If you're good at this, start with it. If you're good at this, start with it.
Yes, and that's how I ended up in passing that 84. I started with the most easiest thing, verbal, because they are giving 4 subjects: maths, English, verbal, and quant. I started with verbal. Then with that verbal, I now started English. And I saw that in that verbal, there are some questions they added in English there. When I now finished, I now started doing maths. After maths, I now started doing quantitative because both of them are related, and that's how I passed that 84 and got 102.
In mine, when I was doing my common entrance 2, they gave us 5 subjects: maths, English, science, Igbo, and some other one. And I started with maths, because when I started with maths, the first thing I saw was what they have been teaching us in my school. I was surprised because I licked maths like a banana. I felt done with maths and moved on with other subjects. Maths was the first I started with. I don't know why. I just started with maths.
That's quite correct. On to question 3, which is part of my story. Some of my friends say that mathematics is harder than English. What do you have to say about that?
I don't really blame him, because some folks rather prefer other subjects than maths. But I want to advise him that he should also be friend with mathematics. He should also know mathematics very well, because mathematics helps a lot. He should start from the scratch. Which is the primary level, to the secondary level, which is 2. You start from the number 1, go to number 2. He will read maths like a banana, and he let him be more interested in all subjects, not only in one, because he may be interested in this subject and may not even know that mathematics may come across him in some other things. Let him focus on all the subjects because they're all important.
Okay.
Maths helps a lot.
Yes.
Not you should not only be told that English may help him. English may help him, that's true. But maths comes across. He may see maths in anything he's doing. So I'm advising him to start from the scratch to learn maths. When he learn maths, when he reach any other institution, any higher institution, he will lick maths like a banana. So I'm trying to advise him that not only English he could be, interested in.
I usually tell him that because in most of his studies, he normally does in our exam, he normally does all the one that is full of words. But when it comes to writing our mathematics examination, it takes him very like a long time before it. So I usually advise him before that exam.
It's good to take much time because not because of others are submitting, you want to go submit. It's good to take time. He's correct, he's taking his time. But the way you take time and the time goes out, there is nothing they can do. They just take your paper. Let him, have some speed in maths.
I usually advise him to read his maths and solve those questions, those equations that they will set in that mathematics. Okay, that's by the way. Question 4. What will you do when you have finished writing your examination?
What you're going to do when you finish writing your examination is to, when you prostrate your work, not because of your friends are submitting, you want to submit. You have to prostrate your work. Prostrate it neatly. If it's from 1 to 50, if it's from 1 to 100, prostrate them and see the one you left behind.
Okay.
Because some of your friends might submit and they might be correct or incorrect. You just want to follow them and see what they're going to do. And the cutoff mark is 30, and they say that if you not get any number except from 30, you're going to pass the examination. And you did not do 5, for instance, you did not do 5. They say the cutoff mark is 30, and you submitted. They are going to minus 30. You're supposed to get do 6. You're supposed to get 31, so you pass. Because 25 plus 6 is 31. So you're supposed to get 31, so you pass. Because of those 5 you do not do, because maybe you failed the rest, and those 5 you did not do. Those 5 you did not do now might make you to fail that examination. If you do those 5, you may pass it. That will make you to pass. So that's what I'm saying, that prostrate your work neatly.
That's how some people end up in failing, and they say, Auntie, I did this, Auntie, I did that, Auntie, I did this. They marked it, but they did not prostrate whether they left some questions behind. That is why some people fail that equation or that subject. Okay, finally, what is your advice to those who are writing exam?
My advice to those who are writing exam, even to those who are watching us right now, always keep reading. Always, even though you're not doing an examination, reading is very important. Please, don't only read one subject at a time. Read all. Read so that you will know. Yeah, you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So you have to read. Read, please.
Yes, because some people do not read before taking the examination. They hope that when I go to the hall, I will copy from, because let me give an instance. James is sitting near Okala is sitting near James in the exam. So James now say, I'll copy from Okala. So when he goes to the exam, he now realizes that the seats are being separated. He will now have too much pressure that he will not even have the time to prostrate his work.
That's why it's not good to hope on what you cannot even do. Because they might give, you might not even come for the examination. You might write it in another place and you feel you're going to copy. So don't hope that you will copy from anyone. Be confident in yourself. It's very important, and keep reading.
You have seen the reasons and the question and the answers of all these questions of the preparations of examination. We have finally come to the conclusion of this segment. I'm Mike. This is Raph. Stay tuned.